I wake up and yawn. Another day, another class. As if on autopilot, I get dressed and go through my morning routine. Then I hop on my bike and I drive to school. When I arrive, I head straight for class and wait for the professor. He arrives promptly and begins class.
Good morning. Today we'll be discussing the differences between military grenade weaponry and those used in recreational matches.
Y'all already know this. I want to learn! This should be interesting stuff. I focused on the professor's lecture.
The fundamental difference between the two is that military grenade weaponry are configured for energy output, which can cause lethal damage.
Sorry, do you keep saying military grenade weaponry? That's military grade weaponry. Anyway, configured for energy output, which can cause lethal damage.
Recreational weaponry is closely regulated so it can't actually destroy the gear frame. Since the shields on a gear get the brunt of the damage, we consider a depowered gear in recreational matches as destroyed.
Gotcha.
What if someone brought in an unregulated weapon for a match?
Before every match, the equipment of each gear is checked and double-checked to ensure the energy output is within proper parameters.
And if they were to find out the opposite, or that wasn't true afterward, I assume that they would be penalized, if not altogether, punished.
What about the qualifier matches? There was a gear that did some energy output override thing.
As one, the class looks at me.
During that specific qualifier match, the gear's energy core is what surged with additional power, not his weapons. Although, I must admit, I've never seen a core do that before. Hopefully this young man can enlighten us on how he did it.
Nope. No one finds out my secrets. Why are you talking about my core? I have no idea how I did it. To be honest, I'm still trying to figure that out.
Interesting. Perhaps once you figured it out, you'd be inclined to share with us what happened. Until then, let's get back to the lesson plan. I'm sure you all don't want to waste your time on something that won't be on the exam anyway.
The class lets out a weak chuckle. Most refocus their attention on the professor, but a few students continue to look at me with interest. He returns to his lecture. Once class ends, I hurry out of the room. My phone is already in my hand by the time I get outside. Let's see if anyone's free. I'm not really interested in anything with her, but I don't want to be a complete, douche and just, ignore her. I don't think she doesn't seem like a good person to me, but I'll give Valerie a call. Why should I judge people like that? I mean, I did because it's a video game, and there's some signs, but could be wrong. I should spend some time on my studies, but I want to be cooped up inside when it's such a nice day out. Taking a stroll through campus, I find an isolated bench near the campus cafe and pull out my tablet. Maybe I'll take a look at my first assignment for my foreign exchange international bridging class, though on this note I will bring up, this was again specifically I wanted the character to be like, I've never seen her yet. I don't want to be a bad guy. I'll give her a call. But here it's just like, I'm gonna go do this, and she'll happen to run into me, where the same conversation could happen of like, oh, you've never called, I log into my web link, but can't find the tab for my class. Maybe the professor hasn't set it up yet? I wonder if anyone else is having trouble. Good thing that Valerie girl gave me her number in class. Oh, I do get a call. Okay, thank goodness. I find it in my phone and give her a call. She answers the phone almost immediately.
Hello?
Oh. Right. I'll say bonjour. She giggles at my attempt.
Your accent is adorable.
Thanks. Oui, oui, mademoiselle.
What's up?
Are you able to access the Foreign Exchange International Bridging Class's web link?
This is why you called me?
Why else would I call? She sighs.
Hold on. Let me log in.
I wait in silence while she types on the line.
Yeah, I can see it. Why?
What's the assignment?
The professor wants us to go off campus and explore the city of Yuzokaze.
She pauses, then her voice turns into silk.
Oh, now I understand why you called. Yes, I would love to.
Of course. What? Love to what?
Be your partner.
Partner? Like for life? She laughs.
Slow your roll, mister. We haven't even gone on a date yet.
That's true, we have not. So partner for...
Partner for the project, silly. We can work in pairs.
Oh, sorry. I'm slow. Exploring the city with another person would make it more fun than going alone. Sure, yeah, let's do that.
Great. When do you want to get together?
How about this weekend, period?
It's a date.
So I guess how about this weekend? No, it isn't.
We'll meet at the park. See you then.
It's not a date. She hangs up before I can finish. I really hope she was joking about that. See, not even the character wants to date her. I'm in the campus gym finishing up my workout. When I return to my locker, there's a missed text from Coyote. Emergency meeting! Meet now in the hangar. Jeez, all caps. I'd better get going. I'd better. Gots to move. I arrive at the hangar about the same time as Sho and Mayu. Coyote waits impatiently in front of her gear.
Finally! That took you a while.
I just saw your text. Might have gotten a little distracted. What are you talking about? I'm on time. I just saw your text. I literally came here as soon as I got your text.
I texted before heading over here so we'd be on time.
I guess you walk faster than me. Coyote addresses the rest of the team.
What about you guys?
Sorry. We were having lunch and I guess we lost track of time.
Like, is this really important? Like, if it's so important to have this meeting that you're upset with everyone being super late, why are you addressing each person individually and asking why they're late? Just get to the point of the meeting. Coyote blinks and waves her hand dismissively.
Never mind.
Thank you.
We have more important things to discuss. Like our sponsor situation.
Yeah. Everyone becomes serious.
Our gears need a lot of maintenance to return to peak fighting conditions. And the next round is tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow. Oh, joy.
I don't know why, but everyone I talk to is really rude and unhelpful.
I can't imagine why, Coyote. Sho and I share a knowing glance, and Coyote catches us.
What?
Nothing.
She continues to stare.
It's just, sometimes you can come across a little harsh.
I'm just honest.
Sure, but honesty doesn't make people like you. You need to get in touch with your soft, warm, feminine side.
Like Sho. Coyote raises an eyebrow.
Is that what you do?
Yes!
Yeah, see?
I mean to the warm thing, not the soft and feminine thing.
Sure, Sho. Sure, Shinjiro. We stare at him blankly.
I'm just going to shut up now.
Before you do, did you manage to get a sponsor?
He folds his hands behind his head and leans into them.
Nope.
You forgot to ask around, didn't you?
Maybe?
He looks sheepish. Coyote rolls her eyes.
What about you, Mayu? Can your father sponsor us?
Mayu shakes her head.
Unfortunately, he's backing the team I was originally supposed to join. When I was invited onto the team, Father was so happy, he promised he'd sponsor them.
That's fair.
Even though I never joined them, he can't go back on his promise.
I mean, he could, but I get it. Coyote nods and faces me.
You had that interview yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to the interview with Warp Tech. It didn't work out.
Why am I not surprised?
It had less to do with me and more to do with our team status. I could show you the full report from the SBA if you want to know the official reason, but basically, we weren't a high enough rank. I fished my phone out of my pocket. It flashes low battery warnings at me before it dies completely.
Where's the report?
Hold on. I have to charge my phone. My gaze lands on my gear. I race to it and head into the cockpit. My teammates call after me, but I ignore them. Once I plug my phone into the dock connection, it lights up with the charging symbol. What are they calling out to me with? Why did I ignore them? Everyone's wearing confused faces when I climb out of my cockpit. What?
Why didn't you just use an outlet?
Mayu points to an outlet on the wall. When did those get here? You mean this isn't what gears are for? Gears if I use an outlet or my gear. I didn't even get an option to, like, where to charge my phone. When did those get here? Who cares? I don't even... Huh, that's new.
No, they're not.
I've never noticed them before.
Ooh, what about those? And those?
Show points to another outlet. In fact, there are outlets everywhere. Nope, never seen them before either. Besides, an outlet doesn't do me any good if I don't have a phone charger with me.
Oh, I suppose that makes sense.
Anyway, I guess we're back to square one.
What was that about? Why have that section? Alright, like it just started. It wasn't because I made a weird choice. And then it just kind of ended too, where it's like, yeah, but I don't even have a charger on hand. Oh, that's true. Like, whatever.
Back? We never left square one.
Don't give up hope just yet. I might have something.
Another meeting?
No, but my friend in the SBA is still helping us search.
Okay, in the meantime, the rest of us should continue our search too. I'll take another look at what ACE offers. Maybe there's some kind of campus grant or funding we can apply for.
That'd be good.
Mayu, do you think you could reach out to some of the other major corporations we haven't talked to yet? Maybe with your background, you'll have more luck than we would.
Mayu nods.
Maybe Sho can ask around local businesses?
Okay.
Good
Good.
idea.
Cody looks at me. I'll follow up with my contact. She nods.
Hopefully, we'll find someone. But there's a chance we might have to fight with our gears as is.
Yeah. I'm confident we'll get someone in time. Mayu smiles at me and nods. Sho claps me on the back.
Okay, we have our plan. Text me if you guys get any leads.
Will do. We all nod.
I'm off then. I've got some stuff to take care of.
I hope you mean reaching out to the businesses, Sho, and not playing your video games.
Of course that's what I meant. The arcade industry is a lucrative place to find a sponsor.
Yeah, sure. Mayu sighs.
Sho.
He wears his signature smile.
Okay. Let's go find us a sponsor.
Mayu beams. The pair wave at us before heading out.
I'll be going too. Tell me if your friend is successful.
Gotcha. I nod and Coyote leaves. Nothing left for me to do but go home. And then I got the Valerie thing coming up. An uneventful drive later, I arrive at home. I'm back! I walk into an eerily quiet living room. Looks like I'm the first one here. It feels a bit strange. Nikki's bright smile is usually here to greet me. Maybe she has an after-school club activity or something? I reach for my pocket to see if she texted me. My heart sinks as my hands grab at air. There's a void where my phone should be. Crap, I must have left it in my gear. Oh no, the sun is setting and it'll be evening by the time I reach campus. Hopefully it won't be too much trouble getting to Eagle after hours. I remember CINY was pretty restrictive on who can enter the hangar at night. I hop back on my bike and drive back to Ace Academy. Surprisingly, traffic is heavy and it takes longer than expected to reach campus. A handful of students cross the quad. As they head towards either their evening classes or the bus station. Even though the sky is in inky darkness, the pathways on campus are still bathed with a soft light. It's kind of peaceful. Cool. The pilot's lounge is just as busy as always, but I don't recognize too many of the students here. Most of them must be upperclassmen, either 3rd or 4th year. I slip through unnoticed and arrive at the hangar entrance. I'm about to swipe in when the guard stops me.
Hold on. What's your business in the hangar?
I forgot something. It's not a lie, but it would be too embarrassing to tell him the whole truth. Luckily, the guard doesn't seem to care. He gives me a quick once-over and nods.
Alright, go ahead and swipe.
Thanks. I bring my student ID in proximity of the sensor. A second later, the success chime sounds as the door slides open. I follow the tunnel to the hangar. The sound of power tools, machinery, and metallic ringing echoes along the walls. Almost at halls. It makes sense that most of the repair work happens after hours. It's a lot safer for them to work without the threat of students walking around causing potential disasters. Instinctively, my feet lead me to Eagle. What the? A bluish hue from an active terminal display illuminates my docking station. That doesn't seem right. I'm sure I turned everything off when I left. Cautiously, I tiptoe towards my gear. I wonder who that could be. There's a figure crouched in front of Eagle. The person is dressed entirely in black and wearing a hoodie that hides his or her face. It's a her. Still engrossed in my gear, the stranger hasn't detected my presence yet. Call out. Hey! My legs begin pumping before the words are out of my mouth. The figure darts away from my terminal, but I continue to give chase. As I close the distance between us, I can better judge from the stranger's outline that she's a girl. Stop! My screams catch the attention of the few people in the hangar. They either stand around in confusion or continue with their work. Whoever this girl is, she sure is fast. We near a patrolling guard, who immediately becomes alert. Hey, stop her! The guard steps in front of the girl, who makes a sharp turn away from him. Seeming to anticipate her reaction, he turns with her and easily apprehends her. I skid to a halt just as the guard forces the girl to stop. Her hood slips off, exposing light blonde hair.
What's going on here?
That girl was messing with my gear! Or this girl. The girl spins around at the sound of my voice and stares at me with intelligent blue eyes. Wait a minute. I know those eyes. You! She winks at me. The guard's eyes narrow and he speaks gruffly.
Is this true?
Is what true? She fixes... Oh, the messing with the gear thing. She fixes her big doe eyes on him and her lip trembles. It's the girl from class? Valerie? In an instant, she loses her timid expression.
Yes?
It was you this whole time? Also, yeah, I did guess it was her. Surprise! She nods, looking a little worried. For once, I'm at a loss for words. I really wasn't expecting it to be someone I know. Dang, you're fast. She blinks and tries to hide a smile as the guard frowns.
You know this girl?
Yeah.
So is there a problem here or not?
No, no problem. I'm sorry to have troubled you. Valerie seems surprised, but doesn't disagree. Why didn't I get a choice? Why didn't I get to decide whether or not it's a problem?
Alright, I'll let you two off with a warning this time. You!
He points to me.
Get yourself together and stop screaming and disturbing everyone's evening over nothing.
Hey, guard! Why don't you shove one up your butt? I mean, hey, let's think about this for a second. All that I can tell was that someone seemed to be messing with my gear. Tampering, repairing, I don't know, but they certainly aren't supposed to be there, and they certainly don't own that gear. That's mine, alright? And you know what your job is, guard? Your job is to enforce the area. If I can't tell and I think something's up, and I ask for your help, you better dang well go out and help me, alright? Don't you give me any of this crap, because I don't deserve it in the slightest. Jeez, that's a little harsh. But I nod anyway.
You.
He points to Valerie, who hangs her head.
Next time, wear something that doesn't resemble a cat burglar.
He leaves, shaking his head and muttering under his breath.
Hey, thanks for covering for me back there. I'm a little surprised you did, honestly.
Same here, yeah. My jaw sets. Yeah, well, maybe I shouldn't have. What were you doing to Eagle?
Nothing, I promise.
You were obviously doing something with the terminal. That's not nothing. She holds up her hands in defense.
I wanted to get a better reading on your core. I'm not altering anything, though. Just studying.
In that case, you asked for permission. Why?
To figure out how your core was able to sustain such a high energy output for so long without completely burning out.
Don't give me this music game. This is still a bad situation. She's still bloody, like, totally invaded my privacy. How do they even have the terminals just open to anyone? Bloody heck.
Given the size of your core and the cooling system, the heat dissipation doesn't seem like it would have sustained longer than a few seconds. Yet it lasted almost 10 minutes!
Yeah, that's very exciting, except you're a vandal.
There's a direct coolant injection to the primary source? I also didn't consider the acceleration of airflow given the hidden frame openings. Perhaps a quick calculation using...
The more she talks, the faster my anger melts away and is replaced by respect. No! No! That's not true! Still angry! She's more than meets the eye. Friggin' transforms. Even though she claims she means Eagle no harm, how can I know she's telling the truth? I only met her a few days ago. Still, it seems like she's genuinely curious about how my core works.
Here, I'll prove I wasn't changing anything.
We return to Eagle where she props up the terminal. I watch as Valerie retraces a few screens with all the configuration data unmodified. Okay.
Huh?
I get it. You were curious. But you can't just break into other people's robots and mess with their parts. She looks away.
I'm sorry.
At least I said something. Gosh dang it. We're silent. Then she looks sideways at me.
So, I guess you wouldn't want to know that your primary weapon can actually benefit from an airflow exhaust here and here.
What? She points inside my open gear.
You see right there?
Yes, I think.
It'll still require validation testing, though. You should probably get your engineer to check it out.
My engineer?
Yeah, you know. The person who makes sure all your gears are working properly and helps you with any upgrades or improvements.
Is that part of the sponsorship things? Do I have that? Don't the sponsors do that? Valerie shakes her head.
They help a lot when it comes to major repairs or new items, but an engineer on your team takes care of any general maintenance and the like.
That sounds particularly helpful, actually. Oh. Maybe we should get an engineer. Okay, I'll tell my engineer that. We're just fine with that one. Maybe we should get an engineer. I'll ask my team about getting an engineer. Sounds like we could really benefit from one.
You definitely would.
She scoots closer and smiles.
And luckily for you, you already have one person perfect for the job.
Ah, shoot. No, I don't trust her, though. Really? She scoots even closer and bats her eyelashes at me. Who's that? I am the most, like, oblivious person in this game. Valerie sighs.
Just think about it.
There's another pause. To avoid the awkwardness, I shut down the open terminal. So, we should get going then.
Yeah.
Neither one of us moves. Don't touch my gear again without my permission.
I promise I won't.
I wait for her to leave, but she doesn't budge. Okay. Goodbye.
Bye.
She stands in place and waves. You aren't leaving.
Neither are you.
Okay, on the count of 3, we'll leave together. She nods. 1, 2, 3. We both stay put. You didn't move!
Neither did you.
What the hell are you kids still doing here?
Security catches us off guard, and we simultaneously stammer nonsense. He shakes his head.
Your business here is done, and then you have to leave.
I didn't get my phone yet, did I? I didn't. Valerie glances at me and I glance at her, still waiting for her to move. She doesn't. Suddenly, a strong hand grips my arm. Hey! The guard holds Valerie too. He physically leads us toward the exit.
You should get home. It's late.
You should be fired. You're terrible. I also never got my phone. We pass through the doors and the guard shuts them behind us. Valerie and I are once again standing in silence.
Well, I'll see you around.
Is this the thing that happens if I pick to call Valerie instead of an actual, like, seeing Isakaze date thing? Or is that in addition to it? I mean, because I picked that, and then I did the whole, like, phone scene in the hangar with my team. So maybe that was the way of forcing an interaction with Valerie? Like, maybe it wasn't pointless like it initially was, but it actually led up to this. Like, specifically because I picked that. And I wouldn't have done the whole phone scene, or had the whole phone scene, if I hadn't picked her. I don't know. It's interesting. This weekend, right? We have to do our project.
Yep. It's a date.
Then again, we still have that, so I don't know. She winks at me, then turns around and leaves. I call after her. It's not a date! My protest falls on deaf ears. Oh well, I'm sure she was joking anyway. Maybe. I head to the parking lot. Once I reach my bike, I drive home. Nikki still isn't home by the time I return. Where can she be? I reach into my pocket for my phone and grasp empty air. Oh crap, not again. I don't actually go back, do I? By this point, it's too late.